This is Daniel Guajardo with another episode, and we're going to discuss Bellator 220 and everything that's going on and what could happen afterwards. And I'm with Brad Risk from the Facebook page Bellator MMA News. Moving to our main event, this fight was pretty wild because I don't think anyone expected the fight to go like this. And that fight was Rory Macdonald and John Fitch for the welterweight world title and also the quarterfinals of the welterweight Grand Prix. To start off, let's go with, did you like the way Rory used his game plan in that fight?
It's just kind of hard to say what kind of game plan it really had because John Fitch is someone that takes you out of your game plan. I think, from what I'm pretty sure he wanted to do was keep it standing at all times and try to end it on his feet. And Finch didn't want it to happen that way. But I saw a post interview or a post fight with Fitch is that he actually was happy that Rory come at him and pretty much knocked him silly in the first few seconds there in the round because he said that Rory didn't hit that hard and he thought, I could take these punches all night. And he was joking around about it. He was saying that was corner kept telling him every time he'd go back, head movement, and he just kept saying, no, I think I'm gonna wear him out because his punches aren't that hard. I can take them. So it sounds like that's kind of what Finch's game plan was going as the fight went on. But it was kind of a predictable fight, but it was also a surprise ending.
Yeah, I agree. I seen in an interview in Ariel Helwani's radio show, Rory's coach was saying that he was trying to get Rory not to engage in the grappling so much, and there was parts in the fights where Rory could have got out of Fitch's hands, but he decided to stay in there and strike. And he feels that had Rory would have went more in for the kill when he had hurt John Fitch a couple times, he feels that Rory could have ended the fight a lot sooner. In his interview after the fight, was talking about his religion playing a big factor in his mind, and he said he spoke to God during the fight, and that he didn't really have the killer instinct. Now, at that moment, he said that he had to reevaluate things, but at the press conference, he said that he was still going to fight next. Do you think he's going to be able to bring back that mentality to fight someone like Neiman Gracie, or do you think he's going to go back into that next fight having the same doubts?
Yeah, I don't know I think it's hard to really say because of, not being a fighter. I just kind of think that he went in there, things didn't go the way he thought they were going to go, and maybe underestimated John Finch a little bit. I just think John Finch is trouble for a lot of people. Maybe he's questioned himself because he thought John Finch was going to be an easier fight. So, I don't know, maybe he'll figure that out here soon, if he's already figured it out now since he's not in the fight. But if he's got that in his head, he somehow gets past Gracie, which I still think he could. He's going to have a hell of a time if he ends up fighting Douglas Seymour MVP if he has that mindset.
That was very scary when I seen him do that. I got goosebumps when I heard him talking like that because Rory Macdonald is such a great fighter, and when he's on, it's just so must-see to watch. And just seeing him talk like that, it was just like, it reminded me so much of GSP after the Johnny Hendricks fight.
Yeah, Rory Macdonald, he's got so many more years, and when he's on, he's untouchable. What do you think about John Finch? Do you think he comes back and fights again, or do you think he retires with what he was saying?
I think John Fitch has some more fights in him, but I don't think he wants to just be fighting just to fight. I think he wants to know that if he gets another fight, it's to set him up for title contention. So I think him and Bellator are going to talk, and they're probably going to put him in with maybe someone like Lorenz Larkin, Andre Korshkov or someone of that high ranking, and it's going to be for title implications.
I could see them doing Ed Ruth too, even though from his interviews, he didn't sound too keen on fighting Ed Ruth, just because Ed Ruth is he says a big prospect, very strong, and he thought he was like dark horse in the whole tournament. I also wouldn't mind seeing John Fitch just sit out and wait till the tournament's over and get a rematch with either, Rory Macdonald or just fight Douglas Lima or Michael Venom Page or Gracie.
Yeah, I like those also. It's sad to see that, a guy goes through that whole fight. I don't know if he won or not, because I don't really know about all the scoring, but I think you could make a case for either him or Rory on winning the fight. So I don't know. I don't think it was a controversial decision. I just feel that he really put his heart on the line, and that fight, it looked like it kind of broke both Rory and John Fitch, to be honest.
Yeah, I watched that fight twice, and I kind of the first time I had Finch win, and this time I was kind of up in the air. I could see John Fitch, and I could see Rory. So it was a close fight. I think it's easy to argue both sides.
Yeah, that fight, it was definitely. I think with all that controversy, it kind of made the fight even bigger for people. Everyone's talking about it from what I've seen. And so it is Rory Macdonald faces Neiman Gracie. Do you think Neiman Gracie has seen the way Rory was thinking? Well, I seen in an interview that that Neiman Gracie thinks that it was bullshit what Rory was saying, and he thinks that that's not true about him not being 100%. And I kind of believe it too. I honestly think that Rory just thought that it was going to be a fight that he was going to be able to get past. And I think maybe him struggling with John Fitch is kind of messing with his head. But you got to understand that's John Fitch. John Fitch isn't a joke. He's not someone you're just going to run through. And this guy, you really have to be 100% if you're going to beat him. And I think Rory realized that he wasn't at 100%, maybe mentally, and I kind of think that's what made him think like that. And also, fighting John Fitch in that kind of fight is gonna make a lot of people question themselves. Look what happened to Paul Daly. There's a bunch of fighters that this happened to, and so it wasn't really a surprise to me. I just didn't expect Rory to be like that.
Yeah, I thought the same thing with all that. Gracie, he could easily take Rory Macdonald down, and I just don't know if he can submit him, but I think he saw that he could possibly take him down very easily. And I'm just not sure if he's able to. He's got the skill level to submit him, but I just don't know if Macdonald can be submitted. It's one of those things where he's world class. He's going to be hard. So it's going to be a very hard fight. I could see Gracie winning that fight.